It's Local Edition. Brad Pomerance here in Long Beach. Actually, at the Long Beach Chamber of Commerce, they invited us to tape here today, and we're joined by Ginny Baxter. She is the president of the Long Beach Community College District. We just interviewed Eloy Oakley. He is the new chancellor of the California Community Colleges. He left Long Beach City College. He was a superintendent, and so I'm sure you're proud.
Let me tell you, people say, are you upset? And
Right.
I'm not, because this is a wonderful role for him. He's done great things for the college. And I'm sure he's told you that, maybe he didn't, that he's the first younger person. It's usually an exit role.
Right.
And so I see him as being very active.
And he's also the first Latino in the role.
That's right.
And given the growing number of Latino students in the California community colleges, arguably that's a net plus.
Yeah, I'm going to miss him. We're all going to miss him, but this is a great opportunity.
You need to
for
find
him.
his successor.
Yes, and
big
that's
shoes
what
to
we're
fill.
looking at. Yes.
How do you do that? How do you find a president of a community college, one of the biggest in the country?
Yeah. Well, we have a whole process, and it actually started in July. One nice thing about Eloy, he gave us 6 months notice.
Yes.
So that really helped us.
Of course.
And of course, he was around to answer questions and things like that. So an ad hoc committee was formed, and I am on the ad hoc committee, and Jeff Kellogg.
Who's also a member of the board of trustees.
Who's also a member of the board, and he's the vice president. And the reason you do that is because the board can only meet in public if they're all there. So you can't violate the Brown Act.
Right.
So the two of us met. We said we hired a consultant, and then got the approval of the board. She is with ACCT, which is a national trustees organization. Right. And we sat down and we started saying, what do we want? What kind of person do we want? And her name's Narcissa. She had 3 public forums.
Oh, wow.
2 at the Liberal Arts campus, 1 at the Pacific Coast campus. And anybody could come in and say what they wanted to say. She asked board members not to attend.
What was the
theme? They could
what did
say,
you hear? But were there certain themes?
Yeah, here's what we heard. And Eloy is a delightful person.
Right.
He spent a lot of time in Washington and Sacramento, and the faculty and staff are telling us they want somebody closer to home.
Interesting.
The word warm and fuzzy, you can't put that on a job application. Eloy is a delightful person.
He is.
So they're looking for maybe Beverly O'Neill type.
Who was the former president of the college, became mayor of Long Beach, a legendary figure, still with us.
That's right.
I want to talk about some of your students. And there's a lot of talk about dreamers and their fears in connection with the new Trump administration, but I don't want to go there. Where I want to go is talk about students who, shockingly, are facing homelessness.
Yes, well, students have always had a problem, but it's really been magnified.
And I'm sure you know Tim White. He's the chancellor of the entire CSU system.
Right.
He happens to be based in Long Beach.
Right.
And he commissioned a study for the CSU system, not community colleges, but it's still, I think, instructive.
Right.
1 in 10 CSU students are homeless.
Well, we did our own study through our institutional effectiveness office, so it was very valid. It wasn't, it was very scientific. We found that at least 500 students stated that they were homeless.
5%?
Oh, it's about 5%.
Right.
There's probably more. But, it was done by our Office of Institutional
And we
Effectiveness.
also have learned that a lot of college students in the CSU case, 1 in 5 are food insecure.
Yes. So this is something I've been interested in for a long time. And Sunny Zia, who's another trustee, she and I established the Helping the Homeless LBCC Student Associate Group under the Long Beach City College Foundation. And we started asking for donations, both financial, but also of toiletries, non-perishable.
Do you have a food pantry?
Yes, and we started a food pantry.
How is that going?
1 at each campus, and it's going very well. It's in the health services office, which you call the nurse's office.
And do you feel as if the students, are they comfortable going to the food pantry?
Oh, I think they're very comfortable.
They're not embarrassed?
No.
Because we've heard some reports that sometimes there's embarrassment.
Well, it was in the foundation office until I retired. And then it was moved to the nurse's office. And when they were in our office, and I can speak from that because I was there, I would say, welcome in, do your shopping. Here's a bag. Remember, there's other people. So, you know, but...
Because the shopping is for free.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, and I would say, we asked them to fill out a form, and that was just to get statistics.
I understand.
And the people there were pleased. People brought their children.
Oh, wow.
And because a lot of the homeless students are parents with children. And in our office, it was equal men and women. And so I actually wrote a grant to the Josephine S. Gumbiner Foundation in Long Beach, and we received money to help female students. Very well.
Okay.
We just got re-upped,
Okay.
so that was nice. And what we did is we would pay the first month's rent and the security deposit of students who actually a faculty committee vetted, because we don't want to get in the business of deciding who's deserving. And we did a very good job. I had some veterans money, so we put 2 veterans, one in an apartment. And now you might say, well, why didn't he go to Cabrillo housing or things like that? He had 2 dogs. And he actually was the catalyst, because he came to Sonny and I at an event, and you know, I said to him, no one's going to rent to you with 2 dogs, big German Shepherds. Right. Well, he found someone who rented him part of a duplex at 6th and Martin Luther King Boulevard. And it's worked out very, very well, and he's continuing school, and he's almost done. Matter of fact, he produced an award-winning video.
You must be proud.
I'm very proud, and he's a very nice, very, very nice young man.
You're a bit humble. What people may not know is that you are an expert in First Ladies.
Okay.
And I want to speak about our new First Lady.
Yes.
Melania Trump.
Yes.
Have we had a foreign-born First Lady?
We had an American citizen who was born in England,
right,
and that was Mrs. Monroe.
Right.
But no, this will be the first foreign-born First Lady.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a big
It's a big deal. As a matter of fact, when John Kerry ran for the presidency,
his wife, right, Teresa
Mrs.
Hines. Where's she from? I forget.
Well, she's an American, but she owned a
she
villa.
Had an accent.
She had a villa in Bellagio, Italy, which George Clooney bought.
Oh, that's
because they told Mr. Kerry not to have a
Oh,
residence outside the U.S.
But she had an accent, so she must have lived an international life.
Well, she might have been.
Right.
Yeah, she might have been. I'll have to look that one up.
I want to talk about what we believe will be the First Lady's living arrangements.
Yes.
We understand she's not going to be living in the White House.
That's what Mr. Trump is saying.
And so have we had that in recent memory where the First Lady didn't live in the White House?
Well, Bess Truman hated Washington, D.C.
Okay.
She hated politics. She didn't want her husband to be senator of Missouri.
Interesting.
She didn't want him to be vice president,
Right.
then he became president. So she spent almost all her time in Missouri.
Wow.
Where they were from.
And what we understand is that Ivanka Trump, the well-liked daughter of the president, may be assuming some of the roles of the First Lady. Have we seen that before, where a child acts as almost the social presenter?
Right. Actually, Margaret Truman
often
was in Washington.
Right, that's the daughter?
That's the daughter. She played the piano and she sang at the White House. So she kind of stood in for her mother, and she actually loved it. But the first one to do this would be Martha Jefferson, whose father was a widower. Thomas Jefferson. And so Martha was his oldest. She was known as Patsy.
Right.
And she spent a great deal of time in the White House. Next, Abigail Van Buren, who Martin Van Buren was a widower, and his daughter stepped in.
Will you come back?
I will come back.
Her name is Ginny Baxter from LBCCD. I'm Brad Pomerance, Local Edition.